In the past year, the U.S. harvested 93,942,000 acres of corn. Corn reigns as the most produced crop in America, surpassing the next leading crop by 18,055,000 acres. According to the National Corn Growers Association, this incredibly large yield is due to the spike in demand experienced several years ago. And though farmers' efforts originally intended to meet this demand of corn, now they have superseded that need. Pollan, of the bestseller The Omnivore's Dilemma, expounds that as ethanol expenditure decelerates, livestock numbers dwindle, and international trade declines, many American farmers have produced more corn than is required in an attempt to decrease the price per bushel and cause consumers to buy more and more. Though proponents of excess corn yield claim that the current rate of corn being produced is a sign of success, recent data shows that the overproduction of corn must stop before it harms American farmlands and propels our farmers further into debt. While the U.S. continues to plant acres and acres of genetically modified or GMO corn, the choice has put our nation's farmers in jeopardy. Just this past year, the Los Angeles Times reported that China rejected a 60,000-ton shipment because it included a nationally unapproved strain of GMO corn. This single setback reduced the U.S. corn exports a devastating 86% from the previous year. And that's just one example. With nearly 1/4 of America's corn growing exports being exported to foreign nations, tons of corns are literally being discarded and are consequently wasting farmers' hard-earned money. Another reason the overproduction of corn is harmful to farmers is due to the decline in corn's greatest consumers, livestock. The amount of calves raised in recent years has reached lows untouched since 1949, and a malady running rampant through the hog population has killed around 3 million hogs to date, according to the Wall Street Journal. This decrease in supply will inevitably make ranchers require less corn to feed their animals because they will have less animals to feed. Since they will have less livestock to feed, the demand will go down, and thus the value of corn will go down as well. Proponents for the current rate of corn production claim that because the price per bushel is so low, the livestock rearers' upsurge in overall corn purchase will compensate. While the cheaper crop of corn has caused many farmers to substitute more corn for natural feed such as alfalfa or hay, this increase in expenditure will not come close to the quantity used in the previous year. For example, Kyle Williams, a manager of a large stock area in Texas, said that though corn devaluation might make his usage go up, it will still be insignificant compared to the amount of what he used to use. Although over 42% of corn utilized for animal feed, this low yield of livestock will decrease the demand, devalue corn, and burden American farmers financially. The last cause of corn's diminishing demand is America's approach of the ethanol blend wall, making overproduction of corn a critical issue. About 1/3 of corn crop goes to the manufacturing of ethanol, which is an alcohol added to gas to help it burn more efficiently. In 1995, the blend of 10% ethanol and 90% gas was implemented in the U.S. This was a completely new avenue for the use of corn, and thus, in the nation, it responded with a peak of corn demand. The National Corn Growers Association, or the NCGA, even claims policies like increasing the use of higher ethanol blends in the U.S. gas stations will serve to increase the need for more corn in the future. Though this sounds nice, it really fails to acknowledge that the U.S. gas stores will soon reach maximum capacity for ethanol. Nearly 21 years after ethanol's induction, Americans' fuel supply is approaching the blend wall, where a majority of gas supply has already reached the 90-10 blend. Most cars cannot operate with more than 10% of ethanol in fuel, so the only way to perpetuate the same level of demand would be to increase the total use of gas. And experts on Wall Street say that as gas use is expected to decline, Farmers who produce corn for ethanol production are left with formidable prospects. At this time, the only way American farmers can avoid insuperable debt and raise the value of corn is to cease overproduction. In contrast to the nostalgic mentality of groups in support of corn's current rate of production, the truth is that American corn growers are losing money. Stephen Kuntz says, many farmers, especially those who rent at a higher percentage of the land that they farm, as opposed to owning it, need corn prices at about $5 a bushel just to break even level. Accordingly, when Michael Pollan interviewed an Iowan farmer, he states how growers have responded to the deflation. Farmers facing lower prices have only one option if they want to maintain their standard of living, pay their bills, maintain their land, and that is to produce more. This is because they have created this deadly cycle as they continually make more and more corn and decrease the value of corn as it builds on each other and makes it worse and worse for each area of the cycle. He continues, farmers facing lower prices have only one option if they want to maintain that standard of living. They need a certain amount of cash flow every year to support themselves, and if the price of corn falls, the only way to stay even, now, with the cycle they're in, is to sell more corn. The truth is that the U.S. agronomist's plan of action to counteract the devaluation of corn is to increase corn production to further lower the price per bushel. Farmers produce more in hopes that this exceptionally low cost will cause patrons to increase their quantity purchased. And unfortunately, as corn consumers have stated, even previously in the speech, a lower price may cause some buyers to purchase more, but it will never compensate for the crop's overall drop in value. Chris Narayan, a member of the College of Agriculture department at Texas A&M University, asserts that right now the demand is out there, but everyone is focused on the supply. Claiming that once farmers step back from this enormity of the harvest, they will be compelled by necessity to decrease production. Until farmers stop overproducing corn, the corn will only depreciate and farmers will continue to lose money. Corn overproduction is fiscally harmful to American farmers, as the analysis of the present and future market has shown that the demand of corn is currently plateauing. As growers use excess pesticides and sow extensive amounts of costly GM corn, the current rate of corn growth is ruining American farmlands. Corporations and agronomists alike must reject nostalgia and respond to the present while planning for the future. In conclusion, farmers must stop overproducing corn to stay out of insurmountable debt and save American farmlands. Thank you.